play it safe, keep quiet, color inside the lines. Don't ask too many questions, don't speak what's on your mind. But the road got loud and restless, and the truth got hard to hold. When you learn the world ain't listening, you stop doing what you're told. I quit wishing it was easier the day I understood life ain't fair. Good, that's the reason I'm still standing. That's the reason I don't fold. That's the reason my hands are calloused, and that's why I never do what I'm told. Life ain't fair. Good, wouldn't want it any other way. If it hadn't tried to break me, I'd never question what they say. Hey. Watch the loudmouths get the spotlight, watch the liars get the crown. Watch the rules bend for the right ones while the rest of us got shut down. Every loss became a lesson, every bruise a line of proof. If the world was fair and easy, I wouldn't always question their truth. I quit asking for permission the day I understood life ain't fair. Good, that's the reason I'm still standing. That's the reason I don't fold. That's the reason my hands are calloused, and that's why I never do what I'm told. Life ain't fair. Good, wouldn't want it any other way. If it hadn't tried to break me, I'd never question what they say. If it ever felt easy, I know it wasn't fine. I trust the road that fights me more than the one that shines. Life ain't fair, good, I don't need a padded road. Every scar's a reminder I can carry my own load. Life ain't fair, good, let the hard days come my way. If it hadn't tried to break me, I wouldn't be who I am today. I remember being younger and thinking right would win the day. Thought the world kept balance, somehow working out its way. But the road don't keep a ledger, and the sky don't take requests. You learn quick the truth about it when life don't pass the test. Fair was never promised, not to me or you. No deal signed in heaven, saying life plays true. You walk what you're given, you stand where you land. Fair was never promised, just the strength to stand. Seen the honest fall behind, watch the loud ones take the crown. Watch good men carry burdens while the guilty lay them down. There ain't always reason, there ain't always rhyme. Sometimes all you're given is another hill to climb. There was never promised, not to me or you. No deal signed in heaven, saying life plays true. You walk what you're given, you stand where you land. There was never promised, just the strength to stand. stopped asking questions. I just learned how to carry what comes with steady hands. Fair was never promised, only who you become. I've heard every story told about how the world should be, how justice ought to balance out for men like you and me. But the road don't stop for wishing, and the clock don't slow its hands. You either learn to walk it or you never learn to stand. The ones who win don't blame fair, they don't wait around for change. They carry what they're given and they walk straight through the pain. No time spent complaining, no doubt left in the air. The ones who win keep moving, they don't blame fair. I've seen strong men break quiet, seen weak men shout loud, heard excuses fill a room while truth stood in the crowd. There's a difference in surviving, living without regret, and stop asking why it happened and start asking what's next. The ones who win don't blame fear, they don't wait around for change. They carry what they're given and they walk straight through the pain. No time spent complaining, no doubt left in the air. The ones who win keep moving, they don't blame fair. The world never promised balance, only chances you can take. The ones who win don't cry fear, they just rise and go again. They leave the past behind them like dust behind the wind. No need for recognition, no need for prayer. The ones who win keep walking, they don't cry fear. Everywhere I look, there's a verdict. Everybody's keeping score. They talk like they know my story, like they walked my path before. They pointed every mistake I made, like they never slipped once too, like they never lost their way at night, like they've always known the truth. Maybe I ain't what they wanted, maybe I ain't what they see. This world ain't gonna judge me. This world don't know my game. When I'm gone and in the ground someday, God can say my name. Let heaven tell me I was wrong. Let heaven say I'm right. But this world don't get to own my soul or tell me how to live my life. Tell me how to live my life. I've heard whispers in the barrooms. I've seen headlines draw a thin red line. Everybody loves a sinner until the sinner looks like mine. I ain't saying I'm a good man, I ain't saying I'm clean. I just know the ones throwing stones ain't as holy as they seem. I ain't asking for forgiveness from a crowd that ain't divine. This world ain't gonna judge me. This world don't know my game. When I'm gone and in the ground someday, God can say my name. Let heaven tell me I was wrong. Let heaven say I'm right. But this world don't get to own my soul or tell me how to live my life. Tell me how to live my life. I'll answer when the time comes, but it won't be here below. This world ain't gonna judge me. This world don't hold a key. When the dust finally settles, God can speak to me. I don't talk about the things I've seen or the nights that changed my name. Some roads don't show up on the map. Some scars don't need the blame. I learned young how to hold my tongue. The truth cuts like a blade. There's things a man don't handle the wind. There's things you take to the grave. You can ask me where I've been. You can try to read my face, but I dug a grave for my secrets, laid them down in the dirt. Cross made out of old regrets, carved deep in the hurt. I ain't looking for forgiveness, I ain't begging for relief. When I'm gone, they're going with me, 6 feet underneath. I dug a grave for my secret. There's a porch light back in my hometown, still burns for who I was. But that boy ain't coming back, and he never will, because some lines once crossed don't uncross. Some fires don't leave smoke. Some stories die inside your chest, some truths stay never spoke. You can call it pride, you can call it fear. I dug a grave for my secrets, laid them down in the dirt. Cross made out of old regrets, carved deep in the hurt. I ain't looking for forgiveness, ain't begging for relief. When I'm gone, they're going with me, 6 feet underneath. Only God knows what I carry, and that's enough for me. I dug a grave for my secrets, and I ain't digging it up. Some things stay between the silence and the man I become. When I leave this world behind me, they'll rest where they've been, buried deep inside my shadow, never breathing again. I dug a grave for my secrets. There's a way behind my eyes that don't show up in the light. I've learned how to sit with it through the longest parts of the night. I ain't built for empty talk or digging up old scars. Some wounds don't need a witness, some truths don't need applause. You can ask me what I'm thinking, you won't hear it anyway. It's the things I don't say that keep me wide awake. The words that never leave my mouth are the ones I have to take. Carry on like Judas in the bottom of my chest. It's things I don't say that know me best. I've swallowed bad confession that would burn through bone and pride. Let 1,000 moments pass with a war I kept inside. There's a line I never cross, even when I'm cutting too. I'd rather wear the silence than betray what I know is true. You don't have to understand me, you don't have to like my way. It's the things I don't say that keep me wide awake. The words that never leave my mouth are the ones I have to take. I carry on like Judas in the bottom of my chest. It's the things I don't say that know me best. Some men bleed in public, some men don't make a sound. I learned early how to bury it without putting me in the ground. environments I've been living in is the only thing I know. They don't need forgiveness, they don't need a name. It's things I don't say that'll never change. There's a field outside this town where the weeds grow tall and wild. No cross, no name, no flowers, just a ghost of who I was. I took what I couldn't carry and I dug it in alone. Some things don't need remembering, some things don't need a home. No prayer said out loud, no crowd to stand around. I laid it down, buried without a stone. No marker in the ground, no name carved in bone. I didn't leave a trace, didn't write it in the sky. Some losses don't get mourned, they just learn how to die. I laid it down, buried without a stone. There's stories I won't tell, 'cause they don't deserve the air. Not every wound needs witnesses, not every hurt needs care. I watched it fade to nothing, like smoke against the wind. Some endings don't need justice, they just need to end. No bell rang that night, no last goodbye. I laid it down, buried without a stone. No marker in the ground, no name carved in bone. I didn't leave a trace, didn't write it in the sky. Some losses don't get mourned, they just learn how to die. I laid it down, buried without a stone. If you go looking for it, you won't find a sign. What's gone is gone for good, and that's by design. I laid it down, buried without a stone. No memory to tend, no shadow to atone. Some things don't need forgiving, some things don't come back home. I laid it down, buried without a stone. line drawn in the gravel, boot heels pressed to thin. I stood there long enough to know I wasn't standing there again. There's a version of me back there, still banging on that door, but I don't answer echoes like I used to before. I left it in the dirt, and I ain't going back. No tracks to follow home, no rope to pull me back. What broke don't need fixing, what burned don't need ash. I left it in the dirt, and I ain't going back. Gasoline on flame, but silence hit harder, and it didn't need a name. I don't carry old battles on my shoulder like a badge. Some things fall apart, and that's the end of that. I left it in the dirt, and I ain't going back. No tracks to follow home, no rope to pull me back. What broke don't need fixing, what burned don't need ash. I left it in the dirt, and I ain't going back. Standing, you won't find me there. I don't live in what betrayed me, I don't breathe that air. I left it in the dirt, didn't mark the place. No stone, no sign, no memory to chase. Some doors stay closed, and that's a fact. I left it in the dirt, and I ain't going back.